Marcus White. This is a reaction to Gabourey Sidibe's interview with two guys from Africa, I guess. Terrence Howard's argument on Empire set with Gabourey Sidibe, who played Precious. Yeah, who played in the movie Precious. Yeah. So here we go.
But also too a very eclectic or polarizing
mathematician.
his math. I don't know that Terrence, because I know he's a great actor, but also too a very eclectic or polarizing
mathematician.
His math. I don't know that math.
Him and Neil deGrasse Tyson. He wrote a whole paper about some kind of science paper and had Neil deGrasse Tyson look over it.
Yeah.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson said
he will do that.
He goes, I do respect his philosophy, but he's not a scientist. And he has to understand there's this thing, it's something called the syndrome, where it's like people think they know more than what they know.
Oh yeah, delusions of grandeur, right?
No, that's not it. It's called something. It's a name of something.
Okay.
I
know
forgot what it's called. He goes,
think of it.
listen, first of all, I looked at the paper. I love his efforts, but we do research. We're scientists who've done this for years, and the stuff he's doing, I don't agree with, but I really appreciate the effort.
That was a real diplomatic way to say, what the hell is this?
Because he's on like Rogan, he's on these things talking about zero and the 1 times 1 is 1.
Pythagorean.
The 1 times 1.
And Terrence Howard doing Terrence is so good at that because the way he talks.
Yeah.
You at 1 times 1 is not really 1. Why is it? Do we know it? Do we know what 1 times 1 is? But see, in your mind, I just like when he talks. I just go, yeah, Lucius lying.
How was it working with him? You had to direct him.
Did he go, what's up, man? Did he do, man? I don't like this, man.
TT.
Let's talk about it.
TT is a once in a lifetime person, and we thank God for that. He wrote the first argument I had with him was about whether or not 1 times 1 is 1. And like this is I'm having flashbacks. It's like I'm back at
I'm
9.
sorry, because she kept quiet. I was like, he's really going, well, is 1 times 1 1?
I heard that,
That was our first argument, he and I. And he called me the next day, and I was like on a flight, and then I got the message.
Oh,
and
that's
I
their
went home.
argument.
I'm not calling you back. And then he called me at like 11 p.m.
Hey, man.
I go, what, TT? And he's like, oh, I just wanted to let you know that, like, your argument was really, like, you're really smart. You're really smart. I go, Terrence, are you calling me at 11:30 p.m. to tell me that I am smart? He's like, yeah. And I go, good night.
Oh, man.
I don't need but the thing about him, yes, he absolutely does his belief in 1 times 1 in numbers, and I'm really bad at math. They had to create a new math so that I could graduate from high school. Thank God I'm pretty. But he wrote this book and he made me read it in his trailer while he watched me.
That's some Terrence Howard.
It is.
Read it.
And he was like working. He's always like working on science. That's the best way. He's working on science. He's working on. He uses like shapes. He uses like plastic shapes, and he explained it.
I just love that Terrence Howard is doing that.
It's science.
How is he like? Is he crocheting it? Or like, what's he?
I feel like he's using maybe a soldering iron or something. He's working. It's science. He's working on it.
Yeah.
I assure you.
Man, for shapes, man. This is a parallelogram, man.
Yeah.
But is it a parallelogram, man?
Yeah, because it's actually he'll be like it's actually a sphere. It's spherical.
It's spherical,
It's
man.
spherical.
I love-
Yeah,
I love
because
it.
there's actually no zero.
Terrence Howard, give me his science right now.
See, I believe how we really is the Earth a sphere? We have to really think about those things. Is it a sphere? Just because it's looking, I'm walking straight. Do I feel the sphere? What if we're a flat sphere? What if?
What's a
Are
flat
we a
sphere,
sphere? There's a
Terrence?
stratosphere, there's an atmosphere. Why is it a sphere? Why can't it be an astro line? Why can't it? This is the
So Terrence, I gotta ask you.
Yes, yes.
Have you heard of CTE?
I've heard of critical Terrence exquisite thinking. Mine.
Terrence, we love you, man.
Yeah, we gotta get that brain and we gotta look at it. We gotta get to science because he's so interesting. He really is genuinely really fun to talk to a point. He's really fun to talk to, and he was really fun to direct too.
Was he? Oh,
he was, and I was surprised because I've seen a lot of my coworkers in the way they speak to directors, especially when those directors are women, and especially when those directors are Black women.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I tell people whenever I see a director who is shadowing, another director, I say, hey, shadow. Like I was on American Horror Stories, and the director was a white man and had a shadow, and the shadow was an Indian woman, Indian American woman. I said, hey, girl, find you an Indian American woman to shadow, because the way crew and cast will talk to this white man and follow his lead is very different than they will yours. You have to figure out and see what you will encounter. So you need to shadow someone that looks like you, someone that shows up in the world with you, because I promise you it's very different. And that's what I learned by shadowing Black women. And paying attention to the way a white man can direct, the way a white man can control the crew.
Directing from just watching and hands-on.
Mm-hmm. And genuinely being like, hi, I would like to shadow you. I shadowed Millicent Shelton on Insecure, and she's great, Emmy nominated.
So you did it
director.
on your own, like I want to start shadowing. So
I think that's great.
That's awesome.
I really do.
It is a lot of hands-on though too.
Yeah.
Also, just like acting. I took classes. I had some really great acting teachers here and in New York, but it's really when you get on the set, because the audition is different than actually working out the role. No. And it's like, I know people who didn't really take acting classes, but they're in so many projects that they just get better. Because being on a set and the cameras, it's a different thing to actually, let me do my lines. De Niro's right there. What that changes the game.
Yeah.
So you to be on the set, I think and then you have a troubleshooter. There's always somebody to like, hey, this is what you might want to do with that. So yeah, it's about hands-on.
The hands-on and the experience you get from just being around. You talked about it, Empire. That was a high caliber of actors, a collection of high caliber actors. One being Taraji P. Henson, who I love. Taraji P. Henson. Love Taraji. What was that like working with Taraji? I had a chance to sit down with her and interview her, on the talk, and I just found her to be like such a cool person. What was that like?
She's really cool.
Yeah.
She's also genuinely just like fun.
Yeah.
She's like a fun person. She is, she's really interesting to direct too, because the way she pays attention to things, and the way her mind works, I really love directing her. And after I directed, she directed too. She directed an episode of Empire too. And I remember talking to her. She was like, so what do you do? And I was like, so here's what I would do. Here's how I would set up a scene. And I think she also shadowed Senna, but I was like, here's what I would do. And I gave her an idea that she actually took. I was like, it never rains around here. So if you want, you could just make it rain. And she made it rain throughout her episode.
Wow.
Yeah, she seems like she's not paying attention because she's really fun.
Yeah.
And kind of sleepy, but she works so much. Sometimes she would just be fall asleep on set because she'd be in nearly every single day. And because she's so fun, you don't know how much she's actually taking in.
And absorbing, and just the mental energy it takes. Because even you guys would watch episodes at home, as they were coming at Taraji's house, right? So
yeah, we would get together and watch.
Not only watching it for entertainment, but you guys are watching it studying the art in such a way, right? Because I look at that and my default is always going to sports. It's like watching film of your opponent and whatever, or studying yourself. Sure. You guys have the entertainment portion, the studying portion of that. Did she ever give you any wisdom that you took with you and then go, oh wow, that's a nugget that I'll never forget from Taraji? I'm sure there's a lot of them during your guys' time together, the 6 years you guys spent together. Anything stand out?
Yeah, she once made mashed potatoes out of cauliflower, and I didn't know that was possible.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of that.
that was
Cauliflower, mashed
possible.
Potatoes, yeah.
I had no idea, and it was banging too.
It was
There's
banging.
It was pretty
cauliflower
big. I
pizza,
said this.
cauliflower pizza.
I've had
Yeah.
cauliflower pizza.
Crust.
Yeah.
It's pretty
You can do
good.
a lot with cauliflower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried to replicate it since?
Nope.
You know, my husband can't process gluten, dairy, or eggs.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Oh.
I've tried,
Oh,
I've
wow.
tried, but it doesn't turn out the way I needed to.
What
Yeah.
is that? What is that
Yeah.
recipe? Taraji.
Yeah.
Taraji, what's that recipe? That's another 154 conversation in the books. We are bridging culture back to its roots.
From Africa to the world, we're telling stories our way.
So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share your voice in the comments. This is 154.
Yeah, I enjoy watching that. She's really cool. Yeah, and funny. I met I met Taraji Peterson. I was an extra in hurricane season. And she's cool. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.